This exercise is designed to help you discover the importance of eating slowly and mindfully. Inner awareness or mindfulness is a critical part of the entire process of intuitive eating. Staying present allows you to feel the direct experience of your body and the many sensations of eating. To help you practice this mindfulness, the co-founders of Intuitive Eating have developed the Intuitive Eating Awareness Training, or iEat. If you are following along in the Intuitive Eating Workbook, this is on page 137, but I'm going to go ahead and take you through the activity today. This is a guided eating activity to help cultivate your awareness and experience of the many sensory nuances of eating, which will ultimately contribute to your satisfaction in eating. So what you'll want to make sure you have for this exercise is a quiet space. So make sure your phone is off and you're somewhere where you won't be distracted, so that you can place all of your attention on the eating process. So you'll want to make sure that you're doing this activity at a time and a place where you can be totally undistracted. And what you'll need is a small food or a small piece of food that you would like to eat that doesn't require utensils. So some examples of what you might choose are like dried fruit, nuts, shredded cheese, a pretzel, a piece of chocolate, a slice of bread, a small piece of fruit, some granola, a junior mint, a cookie, okay? So it could be anything as long as it's just kind of a small food that you can just place on a napkin or a plate in front of you and eat with your hands. If you are ready, I'm going to go ahead and take you through this activity. As long as you have the food on a plate or a napkin in front of you and you're seated in a chair, we're good to go. So sit comfortably in your chair and take a couple of deep breaths. So we want to start this activity from a place of relaxation and calm. Good. Keep going with that deep breathing. It is important to take your time and not rush into each of the following experiences. So you're not going to chew and swallow until the end of this activity. So I just want to make you aware of that as we go into this. You're really going to take your time. This is about turning inward, okay? So you're going to just notice what's happening and just be very mindful and connect with your direct experience. Take one more deep breath. The first element we're going to focus on is sight. So without touching your food, just notice how it looks on the plate or the napkin in front of you. Gaze upon it with curiosity, as if you have never seen this type of food before. Notice the color, the shape, any nooks and crannies and shadows. How would you describe what you observe to someone who has never seen this food? There's no wrong or right way to describe your observation. Just notice and engage your eyes. The second element we'll focus on is smell. Place your nose near the food and gently inhale. What does the food smell like? Is there a scent? Perhaps hints of vanilla, mint, chocolate, or a spicy or pungent aroma. Is the scent subtle or strong? Or perhaps the scent is fragrant but neither subtle nor strong. There's no wrong or right way to experience aroma. Just notice. The third element is touch. Pick up the food and place it in your hand. Notice how it feels in your hand. Perhaps it is smooth, rough, sharp, crumbly, sticky, brittle, crusty, heavy, or light. There's no wrong or right way to describe physical sensations of touch. Just notice and feel the texture. The next element is sound. Take a small bite of the food. How does it sound as you take a bite? Perhaps crunchy, crackly, dull, slurpy, or wispy. There's no wrong or right way to describe what you hear. Just listen and notice. Now, without taking another bite, we're going to focus on mouth feel. Just roll the food around in your mouth and notice how it feels. Is the texture rough, crumbly, dry, sticky, moist, light, or something else? Resist the urge to chew the food. Just notice how the texture of the food changes as it sits on your tongue. Perhaps it's beginning to get soggy, to disintegrate, or to become stringy or sharp. There's no wrong or right way to describe the physical sensations of food in your mouth. Just notice and feel the texture gradually change. The last element is taste. How does the food taste? Perhaps sweet, sour, bitter, salty, pungent, or bland. What happens to the taste of the food as it sits on your tongue? Does it get stronger or perhaps more subtle and less distinct? Are new flavors emerging as the food dissolves on your tongue? There's no wrong or right way to taste your food. Just observe and notice the nuances of flavors. Next, chew your bite of food, and when you feel ready, swallow it. Notice how the food feels as it travels down your throat. Take another bite of your food and repeat this process. Now that you have experienced paying attention to specific senses while eating, it's important to continue to practice this mindful eating. So I hope this training got you into kind of what it might feel like to really be mindful during eating, to slow down, to pay attention. And I hope this training is helping you to slowly transform your relationship with food and create a more intimate and positive relationship with food. A lot of times after doing this experience, some clients will realize they don't even like the food that they thought they liked, or they don't even like it as much as they thought they did, because they never really paid attention to it before. A lot of times if we have beliefs around foods that inhibit us from really being able to be present during the eating experience, then we're not really noticing how it tastes or how it smells or how it feels. And so with enough practice, this iEat experience, this intuitive eating awareness training will completely transform the way you eat and relate to food, and hopefully make it a more pleasant, satisfying experience overall. Of course, it's not always realistic to be able to take time away and slow down and be mindful as you eat, but still just practicing and noticing and getting into this habit and behavior will be really beneficial for your overall well-being. I hope this was helpful for you, and if you want to do it again, just go back to the beginning of this video and you can repeat it as many times as you'd like. I hope this was a great experience for you, and if you hated it, that's okay. We can come back to this at another time when you feel ready to implement more mindfulness with your eating. But at any rate, I look forward to seeing you at the next lesson.